going to be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Monday, August 1st, 2022. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. How does a brand new set of updates from 7-time 212 Olympia champ Flex Lewis to help you get nice and motivated on this fine Monday morning sound? 2 days ago, Flex released this photo on his Instagram that gave his fans a sneak peek of what life in early retirement looks like these days. Even though it was only one picture, I think it's safe to say that retirement is treating him well. When the news broke about Flex's retirement a few weeks ago, I'm sure there were a lot of fans who had to be somewhat disappointed that we never had a chance to see him compete on the open Olympia stage. But at the end of the day, we all get to say that the last time we saw Flex Lewis on a bodybuilding stage, he walked away a winner. And do I think there's something to be said about that from a legacy standpoint? Absolutely. He got to ride off into the sunset as a winner on his own terms as one of the best to ever do it. And there are very few athletes in any sport, let alone bodybuilding, who get to stake that claim. I know it's popular to say that bodybuilding is a you versus you thing, or a me versus me, or however you want to put it. But the fact of the matter is that it's a competition, and you're competing against other people. And when you're 100 and something odd days away from competing in the biggest contest of your career, the way Shaaban is right now, you better keep that in mind, because waking up every day and beating yourself is only half the battle. Recently, Mo was spotted training along former women's bodybuilding champion Helly Trevino out at his home base in Gold's Venice. And that puts him in a good company, because if there's anyone who knows what it takes to win at the highest level, it's Helly. The version of Mo that we saw on stage earlier this year was fantastic, and it ultimately ended up earning him an Olympia qualification. But when you look at how much depth we're going to have at this year's contest, and consider how many people could potentially be fighting for those 6 through 10 spots, you can see why it's so important not to get sucked into the whole you versus you thing. You have to understand how the other pieces of the board move, because if you don't, you can find yourself on the outside looking in before you even know it hit you. Being hyperbolic can get you into trouble when you're in a media business. There are way too many aggregators out there who take pleasure in making sure that anything you say can and will be used against you at any point in time from now until infinity. So with that being said, let's be clear here. There are some people out there who believe that we're going to see fireworks in the classic physique division at the Olympia later this year. And some of those same people who believe that we're going to see fireworks also believe that we're going to see Ramon Dino jump into that lineup and unseat Chris Bumstead to win the title. If you're seeing some of these updates that Ramon's camp has been releasing over the last few weeks, even if you're a diehard Chris Bumstead fan, you still have to admit that what he's done to improve since the Arnold is all sorts of impressive. Now, whether or not it's enough to set the proverbial fireworks off and catapult them straight to the front of the line still remains to be seen. But if you're in the business of being hyperbolic and you're looking to make a bold prediction, this might not be a bad one to hitch your wagon to. Look, I'm not trying to rain on anyone's parade here, but there are some instances where the old expression, it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish, is complete nonsense. Sometimes where you start matters a lot, and it plays a big part in determining where you finish. So if I were in Breon Ansley camp, and this is where my starting point was heading into my final Classic Physique Olympia prep, I think I'd be feeling pretty damn good about my chances right about now. If this isn't the biggest and leanest that he's been heading into an Olympia prep, it has to be pretty damn close, because he's already at a point where it feels like a pre-Olympia tune-up show isn't outside the realm of possibility. Another interesting thing to consider about Breon heading into this year's show is the fact that he's essentially playing with house money if this really is going to be his last show at the Classic Physique Olympia. So you'd assume that he's going to leave it all on the table here. So if you can reach deep down into the vault and pull out one more of those championship level performances, you never know how things might shake out. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.